Hi, can everybody hear me? Does anybody want to hear me? No.
Maybe.
Tough crowd. We've now come to the boring part of the day, which is going to be my speech. I suggest that if you're over 35 years of age, you should get your head down and have a little snooze. And if you're under 35, borrow a small child and go out and have a play on the swings, if it's not raining. My name is Alan, and as father of the bride, it's my privilege to make the first speech. I would firstly like to thank all of you for taking the time and trouble to be here today. Many of you don't know me, and as lucky as you are that may make you, I'm afraid that you're stuck with me for the next few minutes. Those people that do know me will know that I don't normally say a lot, but being married for 27 years will do that to me. Those people won't be surprised that I will keep this brief, so that we can move on to the main attraction, the words of wisdom from the groom and the best man. To research this speech, and as I've been banned from using the internet, I borrowed a book on wedding speeches. It says that the father of the bride makes the first speech and that it should set the tone for the others. It should be brief, solemn and the least funny. Well, so far so good. As I had the pleasure of making the first speech, I get to be the first to congratulate the happy couple and to tell Emma how beautiful she looks today. I've obviously known Emma all her life, and she's never been a girly girl. In fact, in all of her adult life, this is only the third time I've seen her in a dress. And I'm still not convinced she isn't wearing a pair of jeans underneath. The second occasion she wore a dress was a few months ago, when she was a bridesmaid at her cousin Jenny's wedding. And I remember Darren being absolutely blown away by how pretty she looked that day, and I'm sure he was again today. Now, kids never take their parents' advice, but Emma, perhaps you should wear a dress more often. Emma is the kind of daughter any father would be proud of. She's beautiful, kind, compassionate and popular. Yet she is her own person with a strong character. And, as in most households, we all know who's going to be the boss. Darren, I don't want you to feel left out. You've actually scrubbed up quite well today. And I know Emma thinks the world of you. Part of my duties is to welcome Darren into our family. It's a slightly smaller family than his, but as my wife keeps reminding me, size isn't everything. I won't bore you both with lengthy pieces of advice about marriage and life together. I think Emma and Darren are people with similar ideas and lifestyles. They are both laid back and easygoing. Whilst I've no doubt they've had their moments, as do most couples, I've never seen them argue or quarrel. And I'm sure they will have a happy life together. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all those people involved in organising, arranging and helping to make this day special. I don't want to embarrass you individually, you all know who you are. A wedding is a time of celebration, a time for family and friends to gather together to see the happy couple off as they start a new life together. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses for a toast. I give you Emma and Darren, the bride and groom.
Most people go through life having two families who love and care for them. Myself, I've had three and count myself lucky for that. So Mum, Dad, Nick, thank you for getting me here today. I've lost my place. There's lots more people I could thank, but to be honest with you, you haven't all got all 3 days to stand here and listen to me list everyone. So as lucky as I've been with people around me, meeting Emma 5.5 years ago means that there's been another family who've been looking out for me. I owe so much to Emma because not only has she been there for me whenever I've needed her, she constantly endeavours to make every day better for both of us. The rest of her family have treated me like one of their own and always make me feel part of the family. So my next thanks goes to Julie and Alan and the rest of the family. Thank you both for being as kind and welcome to me as you have been, and I'm proud now to have you as my family and to be able to call you my own. Before we move on, I have a few thank yous to say on behalf of me and the new Mrs. Morris. First off, I'd like to thank Simo, Dave. I know you put a lot of time and effort into making sure Emma got a nice car to arrive here today, being our driver for the day. Please accept this gift as a small token of our appreciation. The bride would never have made it to the wedding if it weren't for Sim's kindness, and thought we would have not been able to look back on our day if it wasn't for the photos and video being done today. So I'd like to thank Alex and Amraj for giving up their time doing that for us today.
Woo! Yeah! Men handshake!
Alex and Amraj need to come up and sit these gifts.
Oh dear! Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind. Wait. Thank you very much.
No wedding is complete without cake. So I'd also like to thank Tim for allowing us to have our cake and eating it.
Good joke.
Next thank you goes to my, or should I say our, Nan. At the drop of a hat was able to adjust our little bridesmaids' dresses and make them fit perfectly. So Nan, if you'd come up, please. Next, I'd like to thank our page boys. You both look very smart. Try not to show me up too much. Up you come, boys. Go on, Robert. Go on.
Thank you.
Other than Emma, there are some very beautiful girls here today, so to our two little flower girls, I'd like to say thank you. Tasha, Emma, up you come. Although one of them has decided to get out of her dress. Tom, where do I start?
You don't start.
Today you're our usher, and you've always been and always will be Emma's best friend. You also have become my brother today, and hopefully I'd like to find myself higher up on your friends list, because you've been a great friend since day one, and proud to call you my brother. Jenny and Amanda. You both look stunning today. You've always been there for Emma the whole way through this whole planning process. And all of today you've been there. And both of you are always there for Emma to vent to. I think everyone would agree that the table decorations look great around. So a round of applause for Amanda for doing those. And from both of us, to both of you, thank you. Next, I'd like to thank Alan. You've been very supportive during the whole planning of the wedding and sometimes ended up playing mediator between Emma and her mum. The whole process would have been a lot more stressful without you, so thank you. Next, I'd like to thank Julie, or should I say Mum. Yeah, I'm talking to both of you. You've both always been very supportive, and they're here by our sides, there to hear our ideas and voice your opinions. We know we are hard work and stressful, but we love you. So up you come. Now, I was thinking about holding back this thank you until after I've heard what he has to say. But to be fair, I trust him. He's been super helpful leading up to today, and even better than holding together this bag of nerves standing here. Wayne, you're my best friend, my best man. Just want to say thank you. I can see people getting fed up listening to me, so I'll move on to the most important thing I need to say. Once again, Emma, you look beautiful, and I invite you all to join me in a toast. Emma.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, the best part of the evening where we hear everything we shouldn't hear is the best man.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Wayne. I'm Darren's cousin and his best man for the day. I'm very proud to have that honour on this a fantastic day. Darren, I hope you made the most of your speech, because now that you're married, that'll be the last time you get to speak uninterrupted for 10 minutes. What can I say about a man who lights up a room with his very likeable and charismatic personality? What can I say about a man who is held in the utmost respect by his family and friends, and whose smile is unrivalled by any of his peers? What can I say about a man who, despite all the pressures of today, has composed himself in his smart and snappy suit and was a picture of calm throughout? But that's enough about me. I'm here to talk about you, Darren. I'm going to go and make this speech the most uncomfortable 5 minutes of your life. Unfortunately for you, Emma, your worst 5 minutes of uncomfort will come later. Now, I've obviously known Darren all my life, and I can safely say that even if we weren't related, we would have been great friends. We did everything together as kids, and even in our adult years, despite the fact that we now do different things, we still support each other in each other's interests and always make time for each other. I've always thought of Darren as a brother, because many times we bicker like siblings do. I mean, we call each other silly names, pull each other's hair, fight whoever got to be player one on a Nintendo. But Darren, as you know, I am the bigger man, and when we had things like that, I'd always get my wife Kaylee to phone up Emma and apologise on my behalf. Now, as I said earlier, Darren and I did everything together when we were kids, but I think it's fair to say that Darren was probably the more enthusiastic one of us when it comes to really stupid stuff. I remember one Wednesday during the summer holidays, I can't remember exactly when, we were both very young. Darren, being Darren, thought it would be a good idea to play Hang Tough in my local park monkey bars. Now, for those of you who wasn't sure what Hang Tough is, it was on a TV show called Gladiators, which involved two people either side of a set of hanging rings. One had to get to the other side while the other person had to stop him. I declined Darren's invitation to join him in this game, but someone with equal and, shall we say, extreme tendencies and sheer stupidity as Darren joined him. Unfortunately, the inevitable happened and Darren fell off, but not onto crash mats, like they do in the TV show, but onto the ground. This resulted into a pretty serious broken leg. Darren, in my best efforts to help you, I went up to my house, which is miles away from the wreck, miles. And I said to my mum, I said, Darren's really hurt himself, can you come and help us out? She replied, well, just take the walk home, it's fine. To be fair to my mum, she couldn't have possibly guessed the full damage that Darren had done to himself. And of the 50 or so similar comments that my mum and Darren's mum Julie had heard over the summer holidays about me and Darren, this was probably the only genuine one. I darted back down the park and casually told Darren, who was bawling his eyes out in pain, come on, we've got to walk home. It became apparent Darren wasn't walking on his own anywhere, so we got him taken back to my house by some stranger. And we spent most of that summer holiday in Medway Hospital playing dingbats. Remember that? Now, for those of you who know Darren well, you'll know that this story pretty much sums up Darren as a person. Because as you know, as soon as Darren got out of hospital, he was back on their monkey bars playing again. I've always respected you, Darren, for that. You won't be defeated by step-backs and strive to try again if you fail. Something that has always followed you through life and will stand you in good stead in marriage. Now, I think it's obvious to say Emma loves Darren's hairstyle. And I know Darren feels lucky to have found Emma because he's now finally put a stop to all them strange men hitting on him in the pub. Darren is an interesting guy, and I think you'll all agree with me that his second love is wrestling. For reasons unbeknownst to me, from what I have seen, Darren has always enjoyed grappling with half-naked men in a skimpy leather outfit and a mask. It puts a smile on his face, and I, for one, have never seen him happier when covered in another man's sweat. I've never judged you, Darren. I've known Emma for a good few years now, and it's fair to say that we've always got on well, and I'm now very happy to call her family. Emma, you look absolutely beautiful today, and I'm sure you will all agree that Darren's wrestling training has paid off because you, Darren, are certainly punching above your weight. As a couple, I've always respected your dedication to one another. You are both fun, outgoing, sociable, work well as a team, and you know what direction you want to take in life. It's quite clear to anyone that knows you two that you two are very much two halves of a whole and that you love each other very much. Can I just ask you all to stand for me, please? Please stand. On behalf of Darren and Emma, I'd like to thank you all for your attendance to celebrate these two getting married. I would also like to thank Darren and Emma for the honour and the privilege of being your best man today. I'm so proud of you both, and I'm truly made up for being such a special part of your day. Thank you very much. And on that note, can I ask you all to raise your glasses and join me in a toast to the happy couple, Mr. and Mrs. Morris. To Mr. and Mrs. Morris.
Mr. and Mrs. Morris.
Thank you.
Excuse me.